what's that? Whoa. You come to me now. I don't want to hear nothing. All you go so and leave me alone, man. I don't want to hear all you. Boy, I don't want. For the year 2001, should I compose a nation-building song or just blaze them politicians? But when I hear Pan, they get 19 seats and he run and give a speech of victory, I tell myself something wrong, so I compose this song for kinky head people like me, because I don't understand what's really happening. For years, me Crooks and Panther was busting, we live a string. When I honestly believe the message was loud and clear, but the results from the elections proved to me stick breaking black man air. We don't hear, so don't expect me to jam your prime minister. No, don't tell me. I stopped drinking bush tea for your fever. Cause you hate do it once, but you did it twice. Elections fun is you choose Barabbas in front of Christ. So if you notice your little daughter bringing home a grand, because Kana sent she to a school inside the Bitam, and when she bring home the baby father, the man is a tyrant just like Panday. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I have nothing to say. My personal comments I will reserve. You get a government you deserve. So complain to me now, boy, you got some nerve. You get a government you deserve.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. And how are we doing this afternoon on this wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, right? This is the voice of Sugar Aloes.
I try my best to put sense in black man head. The consequence, I was not afraid. But when I see Keith and Daphne on TV, deep in my heart I felt betrayed. Cause I remember in 1998, I got chastised when I sing this song. But if I did like game, I would have take out she name and deceitfully win me crumb. UNC corrupt like hell, but Sat Maharaj wouldn't say so. As black man open me mouth, he find that man in should go. To these negative response from the black man, I'm not surprised, because I've come to one conclusion: to the black man is his own demise. He ain't wise. So don't tell me nothing about the EBC. Don't tell me.
Because I know some of you vote for NDC.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me that they cancel the URP.
And how you can get work to maintain your family. So if you end up just like a criminal on the run, because all the promises that they make, they ain't keeping none. And civil servants can get the back pay, plus yourself can get attendees. Do stop me in the road to complain, cause I have nothing to say.
My little knowledge now I must preserve.
You get a government you deserve.
So resort to protest now, you got some nerve.
You get a government you deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. It is the 20th day of July. It is 6 minutes past the hour 6. And we are in the classroom. Class is presently in session. Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I know you all would want to hear the entire song or hear me singing the entire song, but not today. We have a little bit of business to conduct. I know some persons might just be trickling in. They were maybe on the other side by Sister Jenny, and so you are always welcome to be here with us this afternoon. I want to say good afternoon to the persons that are already on my Facebook page, to the persons that are on my YouTube page. I want to say good afternoon to you and God's blessings to each and every one of you. It is always a pleasure to be here with you guys. And it is going to be another evening of information, another evening where we can communicate and speak to each other and not speak off each other. All right. So I pray that everybody would have had a wonderful day. I want to say good afternoon to Miss Ferguson and Miss Hosten, who would have already went along and got their buggers. All right. They would have boasted for me today that they got the buggers. So the persons on my YouTube page, I want to say good afternoon to you guys. I don't want you guys to say that I forgot you guys. I know you guys are over there. So a good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Ken Barry. Good afternoon to you, bro. How are you doing this afternoon? Good afternoon to Mr. Logan. Good afternoon to you. Crystal Theodore. Good afternoon and God's blessings to you. Jillian Noel. Red Girl Pascal. Yolanda, how are you? Marishan Bernard. Good afternoon to you. Miss Ferguson. Good day. Norma Roberts. My good friend Barry out there. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to each and every one of you guys. We want to start this evening just with a little bit of condolences. Sometimes they say when your neighbor house on fire, is important that you wet yours. We would have had some tragic information. That a tragic incident would have happened yesterday that brought information to us here on the Tri-Island state. It happened in our neighboring island. That is where we would have had an incident where I think just about 5 persons would have been fatally shot down. And so we would have seen the Prime Minister of the St. Vincent and Grenadines would have today give a more of a sympathetic briefing or condolences he also shared. So to the families out there, I think there is somebody that is around the age of 12 or so. I am subjected to correction. That is part of the persons who would have lost their lives. And sometimes it happens, and we want to ensure that at this stage it does not roll over. and that is here at our lovely little island. We don't want it to have to happen here with us. All right, so persons, you can go ahead. It was 13 persons. Oh, a 13-year-old. Oh, I saw the person just put 13, so I said 13 persons. Nah, it was 5. I think 5 is the number that I would have heard. All right, a 13-year-old. All right, we're asking persons also to go ahead and share the live. I know some persons are just finishing with Sister Jenny's program, and her information today, as per usual, was informative. And you see, that is what we want to. That is what we want to do, ladies and gentlemen. When persons believe that the full intent is to contradict or attempt to contradict what we give out, what we consider to be factual. And so you would have heard clips that she played even on her program that shows that sometimes persons speak just on the notion of feelings. All right, and the information that they give, unlike us, it is much more factual than what we say than when you hear them speak. They speak on speculations and feelings and all the other things. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would have listened to Sister Jenny today, and I guess the information that she gave, I pray that it was somewhat beneficial to you guys. All right. Now, I want to start with some information that would have reached me, and somebody would have asked me to read something out, but I think after reading it, I think I have an idea as it relates to, in a nutshell, what they were saying. All right, so I didn't want to bore you guys by reading the entire thing. But in a nutshell, persons are having issues with the general manager at the Grenada Lottery Authority. In a nutshell, persons are claiming that they are going ahead, and when they win, there is an issue as it relates to signing of checks. Persons are winning and they have to wait 3 and 4 and 5 days after their winnings in order to have checks signed. No, I have always had a problem in Grenada with this. I have always had a problem in Grenada with that level of system. Now, you're going in certain places, the persons who have to sign documentations are upstairs or just 2 doors down from individuals that have to get documentation signed. And you have to go 3 and 4 and 5 days and asking yourself whether or not that person comes to work at all, or whether or not there isn't anybody that are in the position that can suffice for the individual who has to do the signature. Now, you can't say to me, poor people are betting or attempting to win, and when winning, there is an issue to receive their monies. The National Lottery Authority is in Grenada. The person that has to do the signature is in Grenada. So I don't understand why it is that persons may have to wait 4 and 5 days in the circumstances to simply receive their checks and their winnings. This is really not something that we want to have continued. So there's a clarion call, ladies and gentlemen, that because the clarion call was that they have the person that is in charge of the managerial board of the Grenada Lottery Authority be expelled or removed from the board, because I understand it's the general manager responsible for signing. And there are times persons are winning and they're told to come back. They're told to the signature is not ready. You see, there are speculations and there are talk on the ground that even the Grenada Lottery Authority is having issues with finances. So I don't know if that is the reason. I don't want to speculate, because all you know me. Unless I can hear something that is factual, you would get it. So I don't want to speculate, but the talk on the ground, and you know, normally when they say school children talking, there is some truth to it. So I don't know if that is a reason, ladies and gentlemen, but we're asking that this issue be rectified. I spoke to 1 or 2 persons. Well, I don't play lotto like that, but I can say to you that there are 1 or 2 persons who have been echoing the sentiment that they have been having issues in terms of the signatures being signed, or the documents being signed, to give persons their winnings. All right, so let us get that rectified immediately. All right, now we want to jump straight into information. And all you know, I'm an information person. I am the person who likes to give information, so that at the end of the day, even if you leave the classroom, you can say to me, but you know, I learned something new today. No, and I want to go back to the conversation of the rising crime in Grenada, or the rising criminal practices, right? And so if persons wish to, as I took the time off too, you can go ahead and find out what causes crime to rise in most states or most countries around the world. What happens? What would drive a nation or drive a people to turn to crime? Right? And so I took the time off, as I mentioned, to research. Because all you know me, I like to research. Right? And when I started my research, I simply type in what are the causes for high crime, or what would cause high crimes in a country. Immediately, people, one of the things that popped up, funny enough, during my search, was the word unemployment. funny enough, the very first word that popped up in me reading was unemployment. And I took this extract from iPleaders. That's a Google site. It is a law firm that does assessment to what would cause certain things in a country. And so they zeroed it to unemployment. It says, and I quote, "The lack of employment opportunity is an issue faced by developing and developed countries alike. The huge portion of youth of the day are unemployed, and as per a report that was given, the youth employment rate is ever increasing. According to the data records by the Center of Monitoring for Economy, the unemployment rate in a country is ever increasing. Naturally, this leaves the youth frustrated, as despite spending a lot of time and money on their education, they still find it tough to get good jobs. This leads to a feeling of resentment towards the system in the minds of many youngsters, who then rebel and resort to crime early in their lives." Now, this is one of the extract. I would go further down in the reading that would speak to more of that. Economic theories. Given the assumption that all human beings engage in rational behavior, it is mind-boggling to see that crime rates in industrial economies go through the roof. Many social researchers were of the opinion that crime is heavily influenced by economic factors like employment, education, financial condition, and the like. It is one of the most common side effects of social exclusion. Criminals with the background of industrial employment engaging in manual work chooses that way of life due to the lack of both education and job in the market. Crime is heavily influenced by wages and the employment status of the people in question. Economists were of the opinion that educational programs are the efficient way to combat the issue of rising crime in a world full of depleting job and wages. The economic model of crime focus, deterring effect, and interrelation between work and crime. They conclude that the main reason for a crime could be the attribution of rampant unemployment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is an extract that I took my time to go look at in order to understand what could really drive our people at this stage here in Grenada to have the sudden increase in crimes. And ever so often you hear me implore on my program that government needs to, at this stage, or I should say post the general election, let us know the unemployment rate in this country. Now, even if I don't know it, but many would agree that within recent months, there have been a significant increase in unemployment in Grenada. Persons who are considered victimized, certain persons who believe to themselves that there is no way out in Grenada at any given cost, that they believe that the economy in Grenada at this stage is depleting and depleting significantly. Now, there would be other attributes to what would cause a high level of crime, but they are irrelevant to Grenada, be it what it may. Because if I go back to it, you would hear they speak as it relates to psychological theories, biological theories, theories of causing of crime, organized crime, white collar crime, victimless crime, hate crime, property crime, personal crime, different type. So those other things, for instance, if you speak to personal crimes, He said personal crime or crime against persons refer to those that are perpetrated against an individual. It includes murder, homicide, rape, aggravated assault, robbery, and other such acts of violence. Now, those personal crimes, funny enough, still coincides with the reason being unemployment. So at the end of the day, the nice manner in which you hear our Prime Minister and the other minister would have come and make it seem to the Grenadian people as if the rising crime is because of individuals and not controlling themselves. Now listen to me. Circumstances make you what and who you are. You for yourself may be in a situation and you might be able to handle it. Now, in recent days, I saw one person post, because I know the individual to be a single parent. She has one son. And she posted on her Facebook page, how do you guys send 3 and 4 children to school? Because she have one, and it is so difficult for her. So she posted, how it is so difficult. Why? How do you all maintain sending 4 and 5 children to school? And I'm using this reference to say, ladies and gentlemen, that you never know the circumstances that somebody is in. Right? Don't believe that everybody is in a position to control his or her behavioral pattern or anger. Now, most of the crimes have been surrounding that of young men. Now, can we now get an assessment as to whether or not they're employed or not employed? Their living condition, the community, the alcohol intake, all of the things that you want to mention to our people that could be the reason for the rise in crime is really and truly sometimes not the reason for it. And as a government, you may try to shade it to say, well, you believe young people may be just doing too much, or young people are getting themselves involved in so many things and they're not conscientious. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, unemployment within our state could be a significant reason for young men, because a higher percentage of young men are the ones involved in those violent practices. A lot of the persons, and believe it or not, could be, the contribution for it could be that of unemployment. Because we have heard so many sittings, we have heard of so many gatherings, so many, well, the few press conferences that have been held. I continue to ask the question, and I don't know if anybody within the classroom may have it. Then we're simply saying to you to tell us what is the unemployment rate within the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Because at the end of the day, what I understood from what the briefing that we got from the Prime Minister in his press conference is simply saying to our Grenadian people, the individuals are the ones to be blamed for the actions. Yes, every person is the author to his or her own demise. And understand that we are not running from this. But there are circumstances, ladies and gentlemen, that can simply drive an individual to do or be part of criminal practices. You can't come to a country and simply base it on individuals as to the reason why we're having a rise in crime or criminal practices. There must be other factors that may contribute to this. And we all know, as it relates to our economy in Grenada, it has been very vocal, very, very vocal by many entities. Because we had what? Recently, a gentleman who sells on the street. We have had vendors in the market. And more so, new to the fore is this, ladies and gentlemen.
The men and women at the Grenville Fish Market say the business is terrible and they've seen significant decrease in sale in recent months. They are calling for more meaningful investment to develop the fishing industry.
The business level have been dropped in terms of earnings and purchasing and whatsoever. It dropped a lot. It dropped by out of 100%. I would say it dropped about 75%. So I could see right now the slowness and the drop of income rate in our country. Look at the amount of fish. Normally, when fish sale is brisk and things up and running, there is a scarcity of fish. Because of the fish sale not brisk, that's why you're seeing fish here right now.
For me, business is very, very, very slow for me here. Right? Because sometimes we here are sleeping on myself. Sometimes we just watching one another inside there, just like, nobody to come and...
Just kind of dead. Kind of real dead. Yeah, every day, still there. It's more on us Friday and Saturday till like a little breeze. So, we see for a week a day like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so it's a lot dead.
Boring. Very boring. That's the only word I can use to describe, boring. Nah, well, that's mainly a problem, sales.
The slow sale.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now putting all this into perspective, I continue to ask myself whether or not the supporters of this administration gets those clips, listen to those clips, understand what is happening, put 2 and 2 together. I mean, it is simple maths. Very simple maths. Whenever you want to know the state of an economy, it is important to look at the people that are within the level, the breadline level. And we have had in the past 2 to 3 weeks, street vendors, market vendors. The conversation went further on as it relates to issues they might be faced with, as it relates to ICE and all the other things. Now, as a people, ladies and gentlemen, why should we continue to sit aside and for the sake of what? Being calm, being quiet, acceptance, because we vote in an administration that we cannot speak? No, these are not things that are happening under the NNP page, Meaning, they're not persons that are being paid to do this. This is the Grenada Broadcasting Network going out there and interacting with individuals as it relates to their day-to-day living and making an assessment and having conversations with persons. And yet still, you listen to some programs and their supporters and they say to you, a lot is happening here. So much they mention is happening here. And then you make a walk or you listen to your radio or you view your TV or you go on your social media page and you listen to this. And then you ask yourself the question, but what are they talking about? So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for the correction, it's MTV, my apologies. You ask yourself the question, can these persons be at least logical in their understanding as it relates to economic and economic stability? You need not to have a big level of education to simply know that there is a shop down the road and before that individual was profiting much better than now. You're traversing in areas on days when we are accustomed with a hype or a height and there is nothing happening. You're asking yourself the question as if to say, like, you're asking yourself, like, am I the one that is not hearing those things? You're asking yourself the question, like, are they in Grenada also? Because it baffles you to listen to persons give you the information that, hey man, real thing happening here. Real thing. And then the minute time you mention something, you see they jump on a high horse and they go and do something. How many times have you passed in recent days down by the Grandance Hard Court? I remember a few months back, nice picture posted, upgraded picture posted on the parliamentary representative for the south of the island. Nice picture, beautiful vision for the Hard Court in Grandance. We see truck there for 3 days. With the past few days, they would have had some steel on the ground there. They start to rot. Now, what could be the cause of this? What could be the cause of it? You see that every time you see they jump and they dig somewhere or they pave somewhere, and with the continuation of the job, you see just cease abruptly, just like that. And you're asking yourself the question, like, and they started something here last week, and there were workers here last week. Poor people have to basically cry. You have to hear conversations after conversations for the vouchers to go out. It is to my understanding now that the vouchers are out. It is to my understanding now that they would have started something. So what is your motive? What is your priority? What drives you to want to ensure that this economy becomes stable? And then you have a minister of government posting on Facebook that anywhere in Grenada that there is any issue, call him or call his department or ministry. That alone shows you that there is no priority. It shows you for itself that there's nothing planned. So somebody might post below, we want X or Y or X or Y place, and then his ministry may jump to it. So where is your budget? What did you prioritize? What was your planning? What was the project that takes precedence? What was the things that takes precedence? So an individual may say, well, rain coming, so they have a drain by them, they want it done. And then the Minister of Information and Transformation may jump in that area and fix and start to fix the drain. And then somebody else called him in Lacaloom and to fix something else, and he jump and do it. Somebody called him in Sotez and he had to get a thing and go and do it. What is the strategy? What is the planning? How do you all get this done? We know that there are unforeseen circumstances that sometimes government may have to pull out the monies wherever it might be to get it done. But you can't tell me you have a minister of government asking persons on his Facebook page that where there is places in the country that he wants to transform. I know of a few. Bonnet Bridge in St. Mark's. That should take precedence because the school is now closed. The ability to be able to traverse and be able to do whatever work that has to be done could be done. The Simon Bridge, the River Road project, the Moline project. If you want things to do, those are things that have to be done. Those things take precedent. Don't be on Facebook asking persons where you want transform in Grenada. And you see persons commenting below that they want a drain day and he does have water coming on in the road day. And how do you say to me that this is a person who knows what has to be done? Because at the end of the day, the projects that I just mentioned is of paramount importance. The Bonnet Bridge, It's an access for school children to attend the Bonaire government school, and there's a community there. The Simon Bridge, the access to Pearls and different community areas there. The Moline Road, important to the Western Main Road, because of many persons are complaining, still continuing to complain as it relates to going up to Montmaurice. The road, the River Road project, we saw what happened last Saturday because of the discontinuation of that project. Those should be what's on your priority. Those are the things you ought to be focused about. Not wanting to post on Facebook. You're asking yourself, what is happening in Grenada? Because at the end of the day, somebody has to beg. Check it out. Anytime something happens here, or have been happening in recent days, you have to beg and call them out, and always like, and whenever you put your Facebook page on, they're on Facebook, taking a photograph, putting up a status. Now you telling me, with the escalation of the issue of the Republic Bank, at this stage, the Minister of Labour can even meet with some media house to have a conversation? So somebody has to call you out for that? Somebody have to go on Facebook or say, where is Claudette Joseph? Or Miss Claudette Joseph? Somebody have to do that in order for you to address this? Why is it that you always want to be called out? But the minute time you believe that something has been done to your fancy, you see you post it on Facebook and it's all over the place and all social media. But they always have to call you out for things that are happening, and it is posting on the same social media. So what do you use social media to do? What is it? Men and women of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, what that works with a certain entity, have to jump up and down on the street? I mean, not even a conversation, not even an engagement. And even if you're engaging, at least let the public know that you've been doing something behind closed doors. If it means coming to meet with GBN and one of the media houses and say, well, we have had conversation with the persons within the executive of the Republic Bank, and so we're in negotiation. We don't want to know what you say. We want to know that something is being said. A conversation is being held. Because my conversation today is on what takes priority within Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. I have 2 kids. They go to school. I have not in recent days heard conversations as it relates to book distribution. I have not heard about vouchers. I have not heard about school assistance, uniform assistance. Those things are a great secret. I remember before, from the time sometime registration, because we were in a lot of registration going around, from the time you have registration, you have school book distribution. Just before Carnival, you get some vouchers and so on. You hear those things. Somebody have to call you out on that. Dig and leave administration. You see, they dig here, they dig over there, and then they leave it. They dig by this so, they dig by this so, and they leave it. And then as soon as it has been completed, you see they're taking out 40 pictures, man. And they're shaking hand and they're cutting ribbon. Well, I was happy to be a part of the conversation, and I'm awaiting the Bonaire Bridge to commence and conclude. Because with BNTF being involved and the meeting that was held at the Bonaire Government School, they ensure that they mention that Dr. Modest, who played a significant role and did at least 90% of the negotiations and signatory for that Bonaire Bridge, when it is being done or when it has been completed, I want all you call she name. And all you want to call she name, but I am happy that the entity that is responsible for financing the project would have already mentioned to the people that this Dr. Modest played a significant role in causing it to be afloat. So don't try to take it when it happens. Please don't try to take it when it happens. Because that is what this administration does. As I mentioned recently, government is only continuum for when it is beneficial to this administration. So you see the Monkuma project? It was 95% completed. Government is continuum. Look at the projects in which they take claim for and realize that at least 60 to 70% of the project was already on its way when NMP left office. Check it out yourself. Go and look at all the projects so far that they're taking claim for. Realize the amount that was done already. No, River Road can't start because they realize now that even a majority of the work has been done. There is still finances that must be met. Well, I'm coming to Carriacou because I see somebody mention Carriacou. Because I understand the minister in Carriacou want to talk to people as if he believes he has more than one subject. But I'm getting to that. So the River Road project, you realize that they have to do a lot of signatories and may have to pump some monies into it. They can't take that one yet. Check it out yourself. Even recently, in the address made by the Prime Minister during their 1 year, he spoke as it relates to Fort George and how the minister and the Williams would have had how much involved, or his involvement took 70% or brought the project from 0 to 70%. That's a project that has to take place on the 4th, but not a nail dopong yet. Not a nail dopong yet. So how do you take a project from 0 and bring it to 70 or 60 or more, and you cannot see absolutely no boots on the ground yet? Not a boots on the ground yet. So what is 60%? Negotiations take such a big percentage? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand what takes precedence. And today, my focal point is priority. What takes priority? Now, let me jump on the Osprey for a little while. There has been circulating information as it relates to a significant individual that is around the Minister for Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affair, who believes that he continues to disrespect the individual based on the manner in which he speaks to them. Somebody who is is playing a very important role within his ministry. But he believes he's the brightest boy in the room. So many issues that are taking place in Carriacou. You realize that the Prime Minister now starts to say Carriacou, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You realize his new way of speaking. He realizes now that it is Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Before it was Petit Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. But now he realized that his administration is going to forget Carriacou and Petit Martinique for a while. Because nothing is being done up there. Nothing is being done up there. So he's ashamed to say Petit Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada now. Because he know the persons on the sister isle are waiting to drink his sauce. They are waiting to drink his sauce slowly. So he forget about Petit Martinique and Carriacou and Grenada and the persons that was defending it. That it was the proper way to say it. Or he could say it because he's the Prime Minister. I wonder why he don't saying it now. Issues in Carriacou continue to thrive on an individual in whom is in training to even understand the basis of his ministerial role. The basis and the basic application to life And that is respecting the individuals, be it subordinate or anybody else. Went to Carrico for carnival and he driving around like he's the PM in Carrico, man. You have escorted vehicles. You see, they like that. They like that. They like to look bourgeois. This administration like to look good. You understand me? So you hear the Prime Minister in Brother Nimrod's mother funeral speaking as it relates to what suit, when he understand about what suit he should wear. I mean, think about it. So the intention for you is to portray you. That's what you see first. And a lot of the persons within this administration sees that. They see them, not the people who elect them to be there. They see them first. So hence the reason why you heard the conversation that with it not even reaching thus far, they would have given themselves an increase. You're hearing many persons. Imagine the Prime Minister giving a yes speech and he can only mention one of his ministers. Give kudos to one of his ministers. So there are persons collecting money under false pretense. They could be collecting money under false pretense. No, it goes so far to make me ask the question. There's a particular senator in Grenada within my community. I still want to know what his role, because as far as I understand, the program in which he was placed in charge of or to manage, I find that closed down. So as of now, we're still asking, what is his role and function? So you walk around nice, dress up, then you see put on clothes, jacket, nice, walking. And sometimes just stop him and ask him, where are you walking? What are you doing? Where are you going to walk? Show us your office. I mean, tell us. Give us a little secret. Pinch me something. So there are many persons within this administration walking halfway and simply collecting government salary on the basis of a handout. That is a handout. The little thing that they say NMP used to give, no, that is handout. Maybe what NMP used to give us was finger out. No, I'm giving handout because there are persons on boards collecting $2,000 and $3,000. $3,000 and $4,000 individuals are collected. They're on that board, they're on that board, they're on that. They're like paint. All the way a ton they're on a board. Those are handouts. Those are handouts also. And then you call and you, oh, Kid Mitchell used to give handout, and Kid Mitchell used to do this, and Kid Mitchell used to do that. But now you have people that are patriotic members, board members, executive members within their party, and they are all board. They like nail all the way a ton they are on a board. Because ladies and gentlemen, to them, what they see is them. Those persons are not resourceful. Look at them. They're vague. Because you go to them and you ask them for assistance, they're telling you straight out, they don't have. I can't give you. When you're elected or selected by people, I mean, sometimes you really can't. But sometimes you have to use your resources. That is what you consider to be resourceful as a government, as a person within politics. You have to be resourceful. Because a man might come to you as a politician or MP or so on and say, boss, I don't much months, no, I don't want to work. Fact is, government cannot provide him with a work. But you may say, so give me 2 weeks, I will get back to you. And so you might call some hotel or some friend you have in some place, or somebody you know that does construction, and you get back to the individual and say, watch, I get a man that you maybe just do little tiles and things. I know if you could do tiles, but you're looking for a helper. Bam! This is resourceful. This is how you be resourceful. You don't have to push your hand in your pocket. The expectation is to create the assistance, not to assist. To create it. And that is what governance and administrative governance is about. You have to be able to not give all the time, but you could be able to suffice when you can. You go into them and you tell you one come on TV and he say, he been honest in a month, he not no money, he not no money at all. Your money is not what they want. The people didn't elect you to get your money. They elected you to create the avenue so they can earn money. And so this is why the New National Party had things like the Bushin and Seed Program and the Money Program and Fly Program. It wasn't intended to give them. It was intended to create the avenue for them to get. And so 2-3 years in the program, you see they have to go and find their own. That is governance. That is governance. Not the going to the MP and telling you, or the senator within the constituency, and they telling you, oh, they didn't vote for me, go by this one. This is governance. You need not to be able to say all the time, look, $400. You can't give a man, every time a man know you're there in office, he'll come by you, you give him $400. No. So that is not the expectation while in governance. But you have to create the avenue to earn. And this is why you have words of those consolidation and economic thrive. Those are the reasons for words like that when it comes to governance. Cushioning the effect, curbing, creating avenues, suggestions, methodological ways of inventing. This is the reasons for these kind of terminologies. Because you have to create avenues in order to. That is simple. That is simple. It's hard in the fishing industry. You hear persons crying out. We don't expect you to go there and buy 10 pounds of fish, you know, or 50 pounds of fish, and just go and put it in your fridge. That is not what the clarion call is for. The call is to create the avenue for persons to purchase. We don't expect government to go and buy $100 or $2,000 worth of fish. That is not the expectation. But government have to be able to put themselves in the position that they can make and create ways and means to ensure that people can now go to the fish market and buy fish. You understand me? So if it means that you engage 2-3 persons and you say to them, we know it's really tough economically, but here's what we're going to do. We were having conversations with a few persons within the south of the island, hoteliers, guest houses, is carnival. So they might want a few things to maybe, okay, let me see if we could assist that man for he could sell for Mount Cinnamon. Let me see if we could assist that man to sell for Sanders. Let me see if we could sell that man to sell for Captain Harris. These are the avenues that you need to create. This is simple maths. Nobody's asking you to go and buy $2,000 worth of fish. Nobody's asking you to go and sit down and buy all human thing. But you see, we know definitely this is the main ingredient to his product. So what not create something to say, well, okay, here's what, person that might be making stew, we create something that if they can go there, they can get it at a lesser price as opposed to the normal person. Bossmen are crying out because they realize that there is a high thing in how you're buying bricks and so on. So a bossman, you create an avenue where a bossman can be given maybe an ID card, like how your farmer's ID and so on. Remember, the past administration created things like that. And so what you do when a man needs to go and buy a tire, he shows his boss ID. So if a tire is $99 or $100, he gets it for $80. This is government creating avenues. This is government creating the effect for the persons that use it the most. And so you see government, and it was introduced by the NDC government as it relates to free school books and vouchers and so on. Government cannot go around and at the end of the day give a parent a whole $1,000 to buy the children's school books and so on. No. But government give an aid. The uniform program, the school books program, and so on and so forth. I remember my sister is one of the persons who benefited when in the agricultural industry. My father being a farmer, I think GCNA was providing some donations to farmers whose children was going in secondary school. Those are things that government creates. You understand me? Combating with cooperation, private entities. We know government can't do it alone. But when you sit on your rear and persons are continue crying and crying and crying and nothing is being done, you expect me to speak. You expect others to take it on different programs. Because you're doing nothing to cushion the effect. And this is what governments are expected to do. You can't stop criminal practices in a country. You can't do it. It goes up by 60-70%. You may not be able to bring it back down to zero, but you can create avenues in which you can aid in ensuring that it does not escalate. Heighten security, heighten manpower. Those are things that may help create. And so we have seen a significant increase in the unemployment rate in Grenada, which may be able to contribute to what is happening. And so you might sit as a government and say, okay, here's what we may need to start, doing things to get some people back to work. This is it, This is simply it. And this could simply be the solution to aid in the reduction of crime and criminal practices. Simple. A man get a walk. Sometimes I could remember while as a police officer, you see men getting on and men this and men getting on in all kind of way, and they get a girlfriend. And that is it, It changes him or her. Or he gets the person meets a boss or a manager, and they might, treating them like a father or treating them like a son or a daughter, and that changes them. You must be able to trickle into your system to understand what could be the cause of. What could aid in the betterment of this? What can we do? And perfect word, Logan, mentorship. Young people were being engaged by the past administration. Call the Money program what you want. Call the Fly program what you want. Call the Empower program what you want. Call Youth Debate what you want. Call Youth Parliament what you want. But the young people were feeling the engagement of the government of the past because they were there. They were able to sit and speak with Royal and Bihari. They will be able to sit and speak with Emlyn Pay and sit and speak with Kita Skate Lewis because they were involved in the development of young people. They were there. They were there. So when you have youth debate going on and so on, Miss Lewis was there. Peters, to be correct. When Miss Pierre was person in the Ministry of Youth, I remember being a youth debater. And even during practice, you see me, Miss Emlyn Pierre in practicing. Not just the day of Youth Parliament, coming and sit down because she's minister. No. She went around, sometimes with her driver, in different districts and look at your practice and sometimes give you hints. And as the word used, mentorship. This goes a long way. A very long way. You need to engage, understand. So NMP took it on their own the other day and they started engaging school children. And then the minister, Mark below, if I don't need any help, tell me. This is what he posted. What you should do is take a page from this book and see how best your administration can start to infiltrate some money to ensure young people is being involved. Because as long as it happens, ladies and gentlemen, JAB must play. JAB is going to play. So we're going to see a lot more. We are going to see a lot more. You cannot be continue calling every time on our administration when something is happening. That is bad in my light. You can be calling every time we have an issue with that. We have to call on that minister. We have to continue. You're not proactive enough to say, watch, we are at that stage, Crime wasn't at that level. Let's engage you people. Look at this. Look at this. At this stage, the Prime Minister just addressed the nation. Just addressed the nation on the 7th month when the first half of the year, which ended June, showed the increase in crime. The RGPF would have addressed the nation in a press conference, and the Prime Minister just do it. There was a shooting in Jamaica, in St. Vincent last night. This morning, Ralph Gonzalo was on the television. Last night it happened. I sure you don't speak to the Commissioner of Police yet. Maybe just hear about the shooting. But he addressed it. He addressed it. That alone should give you what a politician of focus to his people should do. So wait and wait about you didn't get the information, and the information didn't reach your desk, and so on and so forth. You're also keen in sending people home. Somebody should have been sent home for that, you know. I don't care what all you say. I don't care what all you say. But that day, somebody should have been sent home. Can't tell me the Minister of National Security is unaware that they found gun on Fisherman birthday and other drugs and other things. And look at somebody saying, and he was not in St. Vincent at the time. So you see? And so in recent days, when the criminal practices were taking place, the same Deacon Mitchell was not in Grenada, as per usual, but he was not here. And my clarion call to this administration, you need to prioritize. You need to know what comes next. You need to know what comes next. There is too much happening in this little state, on that little rock. Too much. The friend thing is not going to bail your guys out, because there are persons that are there to make a little money and go home. They don't care if in the morning the office bond, as long as the salary reach in the bank on the mountain or by monthly. Because the conversation as it relates to the person within Lotto, the person mentioned all this. You're getting your salary. Poor people spend their little money, they get a little winnings. Well, oh gosh, what they want to wait 4 and 5 days for? And you know how poor people is already. They get it now, they get it by the mall, by the time they reach, or by the fish market, at least they spend $300 already. Hey, poor people. That is how we thrive. That is how we thrive, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, seems like I've gone past my time today, but I've gone past my time today, and I know Brother Scott would be in to do his thing in a while. So I don't want to take the airway and not give him his opportunity. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it was a pleasure being here as per usual. Just for information's sake, I want to ensure that I disseminate some information to you guys. Miss Marilyn Ferguson, please let the persons know. Please let the persons know that you did get your burger. So I want to big up one of my first, and I know my first sponsorship to the program. I want to big up G Burgers. They're located on Wall Street, and he is one of the persons who said to me, Prince, I am going to be a part of your program, and it was a pleasure having you, bro. All right. So I want to say big up to G Burger. You can go on Wall Street and get your burger. You can call 536-7375 to order your burgers. All right. And you can do that with many other burgers. Their prices are $13, $25, $35, $45, and the list goes on. Plenty. There's also combos for $25. So if you do want to get your burgers, you can check out G Burger down there at the Wall Street. Somebody say Pumpkinville. All right, so you can go there. In my next program next week, I would give out a burger. I'm not giving a burger every day. So next week, the next 2 persons are going to get their burgers. All right. So Somebody's asking for the number again. The number is 536-7375. It's a really good tasting burger. Come on, where's Miss Ferguson? Oh, there she is. My dear classmate, I received my burger today together with Shums hosting. I didn't see Shums today, like that burger put her on sleep. Yes, so, and he's very hospitable person. He's a very, very cool guy. So when you go there, he's going to give you a welcome. Just let him know that you are listening to the classroom and you would have won a burger, or you'll come to buy a burger, and I'm sure you're going to get something nice. All right. So also we have, for the people that are in the St. Patrick's West area, there is a cruise coming up on the 28th, not F, but 8th of July. That's a Friday night. Sassy and Sexy Night Cruise by the New National Party, St. Patrick's West. The tickets only cost $65. All right, yeah. Miss Ferguson is saying a very, very nice gentleman. Also, we have Dinner and Diamond that will be on the 22nd of July, which is this Saturday out there at the Crampies Entertainment Club. You can get your tickets for $20. You can also link me up on 536-5843 if you need a ticket. It is only $20. Hard Fete that would be taking place on the 7th of August aboard the Rum Runner 2. You can get your ticket for $70. It is the League Sports and Development Organization. They're the one organizing this. Don't forget, G Burgers, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best tasting burgers in Grenada. They're located on Wall Street. You can go there and get your burgers. You can call them on 536-7375. Staggering, the day cruise that would be held on Thursday the 10th. You can get your tickets for $100. There would be guest artists. Dash and Boise would be on board. All right. Tomorrow night, the Northwest Brigade Calypso 10th, their judging night, would be held tomorrow at the Grand Mall playing field. Entrance is only $10. On stage, you can see Super Terry, Valin Ned, Prince Charlton, Shotman, Topper, Ja Angel, Reporter, Sergeant Fox, Samantha Dixon, and Sokari. This would be hosted by yours truly, Royalty James. So be out there tomorrow at Grand Mall playing field. I would be there to host the entire event. And so we would have some fun. My dear friend Belva Fisher, her birthday celebration is on Saturday at Booth 8. That's at the market, the vegetable market. I almost said the vegetable market. So you can check me out at Belva's bar on Saturday, and we would have a wonderful time. So you can get your free eats, and you would have to purchase your drink. On Point Foundation Incorporated, they're doing a back-to-school drive to assist schools in Grenada. All charitable donations are welcome and are tax deductible. You can contact Cathy or you can contact Patricia. You can contact Cathy on 347-262-6818 or Patricia on 917-626-6858. So those are persons that are part of the On Point Incorp. They're doing a back-to-school drive for schools in Grenada. Please be a part of this one and don't be afraid to make your donation. New Face Promotion and friends invite you to the barbecue on Saturday, the 12th of August. That starts at 5 p.m. That is a barbecue and back-to-school drive. It is on 38 East 96 between Rutland and East New York. Free barbecue on entry. Must bring something or give donation. We are available for pickup. Collecting pencil, pens, bag, notebook, crayons, sharpeners, shoes, clothes, and much more can be distributed for schools here in Grenada. Music will be provided by DJ Magician. For more information, you can call 347-304-5453. All right. So those were the information to be disseminated for today. I also want to say to the persons that at the St. David's Secondary School, they are celebrating their 53rd anniversary from the 6th to the 17th of August 2023. So if you attended the St. David's Secondary School, there is a celebration that is about to take place within the next few weeks. So it was a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, always a pleasure to come here, disseminate information to you. I hope that somebody would have learned something new today. somebody would have enjoyed the program. And so, you have yourself a wonderful day. To the persons on my YouTube page, I want to say a pleasant good afternoon to you guys. And I realize that Miss Ferguson is watching me all over. She's also on the YouTube page, also on the Facebook page. So Alban Harris, Claude Abraham, Errol Bernapart, I want to say a pleasant good afternoon to you. Kathleen Knights also, I want to say good evening to you. Put the number up on the chat. Which number you want up on the chat, Kathleen? You would have to tell me which number you need. I would have called a few numbers. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if not much more, we would see again next Tuesday, where we again would meet at the classroom. Don't forget to join my dear brother Mosquito Man on his program, brother Keaton, brother Scott, and the whole team alike. Always give a listening ear to them. There is information that may just miss you, that may be of relevance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful evening. My name is Royalty James. I'm signing out for this afternoon. God's blessings to you and have yourself a productive weekend. Thank you and I love you. Good evening.
North stand. Whoa. Don't come to me now. I don't want to hear nothing. All you go so and leave me alone, man. I don't want to hear all you. Bodily, I don't want. For the year 2001, should I compose a nation-building song or just place them politicians? But when I hear Pan, they get 19 seats and he run and give a speech of victory, I tell myself something wrong, so I compose this song for kinky-head people like me, because I don't understand what's really happening. For years, me Crooks and Panther was busting, we live a string. When I honestly believe the message was loud and clear, but the results from the elections proved to me stick breaking black man air. We don't hear, so don't expect me to jam your prime minister. No, don't tell me I stopped drinking bush tea for your fever. Cause you hate do it once, but you did it twice. Elections fun is you choose Barabbas in front of Christ. So if you notice your little daughter bringing home a grand, because Kana sent she to a school inside the Bitam, and when she bring home the baby father, the man is a tyrant just like Panday. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I have nothing to say. My personal comments I will reserve. You get a government you deserve. So complain to me now, but you got some nerve. You get a government you deserve. In the day, see that line that hidden day. Best to put sense in black man head. The consequence I was not afraid. But when I see Keith and Daphne on TV, deep in my heart I felt betrayed. Cause I remember in 1998 I got chastised when I sing this song. But if I did like game, I would have take out she name and deceitfully win me crown. UNC corrupt like hell, but Sat Maharaj wouldn't say so. Black man open me mouth, he find that man in should go. To these negative response from the black man, I'm not surprised. Because I've come to one conclusion. To the black man is his own demise. He ain't wise. So don't tell me nothing about the EBC. No, don't tell me. Because I sure some of you vote for UNC. I said no, don't tell me. Don't tell me that they cancel the URP. And that you can't get work to maintain your family. So if you end up just as a criminal on the run, because all the promises that they make, they ain't keeping none. And civil servants can't get it back pay, plus you self can't get a 10 days. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I wouldn't be amazed. My little knowledge now I must preserve. You get a government to resolve. To resort to protest now, you've got some nerve. You get a government to resolve. Ding ding ding. Ding 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 ding. And you got to live with it for the next 5 years. It's from the public I get my lyrics. You just give me inspiration. You just give me the strength and courage to slaughter them politicians. But when I see you supporting Pandey and condoning all that is wrong, it's like giving me bread and a full glass of milk, then you turn wrong and kick it down. And they call businessmen parasitic oligarchies. But today they're gonna and do crazy good bodies. What excuse you could have to put him back in power? If you ask Errol McLeod, he'll tell you that man was done for Don Cobra. Yes, sir. So don't tell me Caroni going through hell. No, don't tell me. I hear what the man can drink, he planning to sell. I said no, don't tell me. Don't tell me nothing about the Incogen deal. And how they never give a count for the shipload of rice they steal. But if you notice, Carlos have a brand new Beamer. And he delayed the process till he turn a minister. And you hear he get millions in cutbacks from the Miss Universe show as a gift. Please don't stop me and ask me to confirm, because I'm pleading the fifth. My little kakada I'll try to reserve. You get a government to reserve. Ask Manning how much money he left reserve. You get a government to reserve. Ding ding ding. Ding 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 ding. Feel sorry for loyal citizens who get caught up in the lacquer. But a fish always rotten from the head. Is Robbie and Pam put him there. Now Pandey get the taste of power. He feel that he's indispensable. Since I sing about the wife, he hate me for life, so they introduced clause 7. I didn't believe Kaisonians could be bought easily. I would like to know what's the price they pay for Gypsy. In my humble opinion, his actions was rather slack. I hope he don't say he bad lucky. If Ganga Singh drop some pipe on his back, don't a track. So don't tell me about going back to school and learn. No, don't tell me. When my future was never your concern. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me nothing about being black conscious. When your behavior proves to me you're worse than Judas. But if the PNM end up winning the court session, and you'll land in jail for signing false declaration, and in the night a big strong prisoner making sure he Cause the motto now in jail is protect and serve.
You get a government you deserve.
So tell me you get raped or you got some nerve. You get a government
You deserve.